First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rokah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth and sincerity. Okay, so as you've seen on that TikTok video, that was Israel prior to 1945. I believe it was 1928, okay? And they were so-called black people, okay, in Israel. And, you know, we've been saying this, you know, starting with the apostles and elders on down, that, you know, those 1948ers, the small hats, that they are not the true Israelites, okay? The true Israelites are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay? People of color, you see, just like in that video. And this truth is coming out, okay? We do not need endless genealogies. You know, the Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the God of Israel, okay, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? We are talking about the Ancient of Days, okay, and his son, his firstborn, Yahushai, totally different than what the world teaches and preaches, which is Jesus Christ. And the truth is coming out, you know. You could take it or leave it, but it's the truth. You know, the Israelites are people of color, and you know, they've always inhabited that earth. Even to this day, there's Israelites in Israel. Okay, people of color in Israel and all over the world. And you know, and as the scriptures say, you know, Israel was scattered all over the world, but the Lord is going to you know, recover them a second time, even from the isles. He's going to recover all the Israelites, you see. But I wanted to get this in Ezekiel 36, and I wanted to speak on how, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yashai is going to revive the land and put his people back, okay? So let's start here in the first verse. It says, "Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel," okay? And in the prior chapter, Ezekiel 35, you know, it says, "Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir." So it's talking about a people, okay, and it's referring to the land, okay, of Israel. You know, as Ezekiel 35 spoke about the land of Edom, okay, of Mount Seir. It says, "Also, thou son of man, prophesy unto the mountains of Israel, and say, Ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Thus saith Yahweh thy power, because the enemy has said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession." Okay? And the enemy says that, okay? Esau, Edom, you know, them Amalekites, them 1948ers, are they not inhabiting the Holy Land? They believe that it's given to them to possess. Okay, and that's why you have all that pink city. That's why you have all the 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 violence in Jerusalem and in cities round about, in Gaza and whatnot, because the true Israelites are not dealing in the land. So they have it in possession. It says, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh thy power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. So, we're prophesying, okay, to all those, basically to the world, you know. Thus saith Yahweh thy power, because they have made, Israel desolate and swallowed them up on every side, right? Look at the condition our people are in. You see, the homelessness is increased, drug addiction, single mother homes, last hired, first fired, were swallowed up. Okay, everyone has had a piece of Israel. Nothing has happened like as has happened to the Israelites. There's no one has been in more captivities than Israel. It says that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And starting with Esau, Edom, and these other nations, they've had Israel, okay, in their possession. They have been captives. It's just plain to see who's been in chains, literal chains. Starting with the Negroes all the way down to you Hispanics, you Native Americans. You were taken from off your land. They called you Latinos. They call you illegal immigrants. You see, you're in the possession, of the residue of the heathen, even unto this day. Okay, even where we're out, wherewithal you're scattered, you're a possession. Okay, it says you are taken up in the lips of talkers. Right? What do? They slander Israel. They say this is the day we finally seen it. That we have taken the holy people and put them into possession. They don't even know. They took this knowledge from us. Okay, Esau, Edom, when they came into power, they have hid this knowledge. They have went through a great deal to hide this knowledge and call you bywords, call you everything but what you are, and that's the children of Israel. It says, and are an infamy of the people, right? You're famous, but for the wrong reasons, being slow, being, promiscuous, violent, drug addicts, all right, incorrigible and whatnot. That's what they say about us, that we're the minority, that we're weak. When it's what's actually, we're the sons and daughters of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. It says, therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh thy power. Thus saith the Lord thy power to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the people that are round about. Okay? So it's speaking about the Israelites, okay? And the cities that are forsaken, and the cities of Israel had portions where Israelites dwelt. All the tribes had their portion. So it's speaking to the land, but moreover to the people. The Lord's about to speak life into his people, which he's doing now. He's about to revive the land, okay, and get all the heathen up out of there. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of the Lord thy power. Thus saith Lord, power to the mountains and to the hills, to the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate wastes and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey, okay, and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Right? The cities became a prey and derision. Right? They then took over and sacked Jerusalem, 70 AD. Also the Babylonians. Let's get this word derision.
Strong's H3933. La'ag. La'ag.
Right, to the victor go the spoils. So they're mocking, talking mad stuff about the Israelites in that land. Seeing as they got it as a possession, to the residue of the heathen that are round about. There's also Arabs, okay, and Edomites, and many other nations that are in Israel right now. Okay, but the true Israelites, okay, those who by blood, the city belongs to them, they're considered nothing in their own land. Therefore, thus saith the Lord thy power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, you see, and it's calling Idumea out. The Lord has spoken, man, in the fire of his jealousy, that righteous anger. Have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Okay? So, let's see. The Lord is angry against Idumea, and these other nations, especially Edom, because, they've appointed the land into their possession, okay, with the joy of all their heart. They think that they've accomplished everything in life by doing that. The Holy Land, them to be in the Holy Land, that's a mockery, right? Because they are profane. You see, with the spiteful minds, that they show contempt, disdain, and they plundered the land, taken all the goods, and they defiled it. The Lord has spoken against Idumea and the heathen for doing this. It says, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Right, you have carried the shame of the heathen. Look at this word, born.
Strong's H5375. Nasa. Nasa.
To lift, bear up, carry, take. What does it say down here? To support, sustain, endure. Right? Israel has endured, supported, sustained the shame of the heathen. Okay? And one of the main things they have said is that you're not the Israelites. This land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us. It belongs to us to take. And that's all blasphemy. It tells you that. Let's go back one chapter. Uh, 12. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. You see, the Lord has heard, what they've said. All right, Edom has said about the tribes that they are desolate, they are given us to consume. Their God has brought them to naught. They're giving us to consume, manifest destiny. They think that the Lord is like unto them, that he's on their side. That's what scripture says, the pride of thy heart has deceived them, telling the world that they're the true Israelites, that they belong in the land, and all they do is defile it, all right, mess up everything in sight, go contrary to the laws, judgments, statutes, and commandments. They declare themselves to be God. They sit in the Israelites' mind as the ultimate end-all, be-all. Back in 6 Ezekiel 36:6, prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and to the hills, to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, I have lifted up mine hand, surely the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame. You see, the heathen that are round about you, they shall bear their shame. Okay? They're gonna support, endure, and sustain the shame that is coming to them for having touched the apple of the Lord's eye, having taken the land and parted it. Okay. But ye, O mountains of Israel, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel, for they are at hand to come. You see? So right, the land is going to be beautified. You see, our children are going to inherit the land. The scriptures say there's going to be so much children that they're going to be like, give place unto me. There's not enough room. You see, for they are at hand to come. You see, ye shall shoot forth your branches and yield your fruit to my people of Israel. And I'm gonna say this is a twofold, all right, because there's gonna be different trees and fruits and things are gonna be beautified. Trees that are not even supposed to be next to each other, animals are supposed to be led by our children. It's gonna be a beautified place. You see, for they are at hand to come. For behold, I am for you, and I will turn into you, and ye shall be tilled and sown. You see, tilled and sown. The Lord is for the Israelites. He's for the elect, and ye shall be tilled and sown. You see, that's spiritually and that's physically. Having new bodies in a new beautified Israel. The scriptures say in Isaiah the 2nd chapter that the law shall go out from Jerusalem. From who? From Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, the prophets, the elect. They're going to be the standard. It's going to come out from Jerusalem. It's going to be the capital of the world. That right there is going to be the righteousness. It's going to be beautified. It says, and I will multiply men upon you, all the house of Israel, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the wastes shall be built. Right. So all the Israelites are coming back, all the tribes, starting with the elect, even all of it, and the city shall be inhabited, and the waste shall be built. Right. There ain't gonna be no slums and no ghettos in Israel no more. Not gonna be dirty. Not gonna be no pollution, no graffiti, no violence, no heathen. Yes, so-called black people, melanated people, the tribes of Israel are going back to the waste places. They're going to be built. Okay? And I will multiply upon you man and beast, and they shall increase and bring fruit, and I will settle you after your old estates. You see? The tribes, they're going to be reckoned again. The borders of the tribes. Because in Israel, every tribe had their land. I will settle you after your old estates. I will do better unto you than at your beginnings. And you shall know that I am Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see, the Lord's going to do better unto the elect than at the beginning. Yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people Israel, and they shall possess thee. That's speaking about the land. And thou shalt be their inheritance. And thou shalt be no more henceforth. And thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Right, the people are going to walk on their land. They're going to possess their land, the land of Israel. Right, it's going to be their territory. Right, the tribes Thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. As you see, the land is going to be the elect's inheritance, man. Okay? Ain't going to be a secret, a mystery anymore that the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true people of Israel. This truth is coming out, and, there's nothing that anybody can do to stop it, man. The Lord is revealing these things. The hand of the Lord is visiting the world in which He created. You see? So I just wanted to bring this out, Lord willing, you were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. That honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to all you Akim pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.